Okay, really what I'm going to start today, about different types of communication with spirit. So I want to work on that today because I really want to teach people different ways of doing mediumship, because I want you to understand that there are different ways to do it. Instead of just doing mental mediumship, there are other vibrations, other ways of working towards getting yourself to where you need to be. When I teach class, I have people give me a card, or have them get a card. It's a plain card, and I have them write three things on it. Three things. Doesn't matter what they are. They could be fox, tree, water. Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter what three words you write on there. Out of those three words, subconsciously, you gave those words to me, understanding that that's what you would like to have some kind of connection to. And with me, I kind of deal with what those three words mean. What do they mean to me? What does the vibration mean to me? What do they mean to me? And out of that, I produce a reading for you. And when you understand, it's like you're setting the psychic vocabulary within your vibration, the psychic vocabulary that's going to get you to where you need to be. So you can read a lot of books, get that down that way. If that's something you say, well, that's what that means to me, I'm going to take that. And remember, that's when that gets put back in your vibration. When it gets put in your vibration, it'll be there. Because every time you see a rabbit, and there's a meaning for rabbit for you, there's like you already have a meaning for it. Every time you see a rabbit, you go, oh, I know what that means. I know exactly what that means to me. And so what you're doing is you're setting the vocabulary that you're actually putting in motion. You're setting the vocabulary of the reading. So, and I try to get people to do like cards too. You can get any kind of decks of cards. It doesn't matter. I have a flower power deck, the wisdom of healing, the wisdom of hidden realms. So it doesn't matter what decks you have. It doesn't matter what decks you have. You have to realize that a lot of the vibration, a lot of it, you start memorize. Not you don't have to memorize the cards, but you have to really good understanding of what they mean. So really, what you're doing this mediumship, these are the vibration of tools. A little bit of tools to make it work is to understand what these mean to you. So when they appear in your mind's eye, or they appear in somebody's auric field, or they connect to you that way, then you have a really good idea of what it means. And you're just teaching yourself what these things mean. And I always explain to people when they do this work, keep some kind of journal, keep some kind of vibrational journal that you can write down what things mean. Put them in the journal. Keep track of what your guides are trying to tell you. And that's more of connecting to your guides, connecting to the higher forces, the vibrations on the other side. You're doing mental mediumship. Then we can move into the psychic mediumship, the psychic vibration. It's when I teach you to see a person's auric field. And I've said this before. If you haven't got the book, it's called Living Rainbows. It's on the market, and it'll teach you very simply how to see an aura. So you work on seeing the aura. You see what you want. Once you see the aura, then the aura is exactly what it is. It's like it'll appear in front of you, and the people that are supposed to be in the auric field will be in the auric field. They will be there. They will be in the auric field. So the cards, the symbols, the different things you're looking for will appear in the auric field, and you'll get mostly somebody on a psychic reading what's going on around them, what's going on in their vibration. So you're reading most of the energy field. You see like yellows and browns. You see different things going on in the auric field. You're reading more psychically in that vibration, so you can teach yourself to be a really extremely powerful psychic. A lot of times people who do tarot cards are psychic. They're allowing the cards to bring out the information, and by you touching the cards, by dealing the cards, by breaking the cards in half and doing what you need to do with the cards, you've actually put your energy on the cards, they deal the cards, and it gives you more of this vibration that you actually put into the cards. So it's quite where you want to be. You want to be talking to spirit on the other side, and that's work. You have to do a little bit of work with that. Years ago when I was in Casadega, people say, well, psychics are born, mediums are born mediums. Not everyone's a medium. I believe that everybody can be a medium. I believe that. It's how much work you want to put into it, how much you want to put into the situation to be the medium. Then there's always the thing of running to do with pendulums and people's vibrations. Running to do with pendulums. And pendulums are, the question is, I love teaching people how to do pendulums. Usually if you do a pendulum will have something, I'll hold up a pendulum here in the thing. Usually most pendulums will have a ball at the end of it. They'll have something at the very end of the chain. That is not to hold on to. I know people will teach you that you need to hold on to that and it'll make the pendulum move. What happens to that is your pulses in your fingers actually make the thing move. Your pulses and your fingertips actually make it move. So what you really do is you group that ball or that thing on the end over a finger so your body does not control it. You're allowing spirit to control the pendulum. And then you can ask yes and no questions with that. You can ask yes and no questions. And you can set the pendulum to go either upwards and downwards for yes, go side to side to no. You can set the pendulum of how it's supposed to work for you. But if you're trying to hold the pendulum between your two fingers, what you're doing is you're putting your pulse rate into the pendulum and just making it move. But teaching yourself, and you can make your own pendulum wheel. You can put dates on it, you can put months on it, you can put all kinds of things in the wheel and make yourself your own board. Make yourself your own vibrations. And then you can ask questions of that board with the pendulum. Clearing things or clearing vibrations of things off the pendulums, off stones, or different things you use. You can make a loud noise. You can make a loud noise, ring a loud bell. You can put things onto some kind of large crystal to clear the energy off of them. You can do smudge and put them out, smudge them and clear the energy. It's what works the best for you because it's what clearing method works for you. Some people can't take smudge. They can't have the whole house full of smoke while they're trying to smudge and clean their stuff. So sometimes that doesn't work. So find something that works for you for cleaning. I do a lot with flame cards, and they come with cards like this. They're white cards. And what you do is you run the card over the flame, over the vibration of a flame, allowing allowing whatever to appear on the card. And through what appears there, usually there's pictures of loved ones, pets, different things will appear on the cards. And I give you a reading from what is appearing on the card. And that's another form of psychic mediumship, but is also dealing with spirit because I've got the card. You run that thing over the flame and it produces pictures, people, situations on the other side of the card. So that's called spirit flame cards. So it's you might like that. You just run the flame over the card and see that and then put that and see what shows up on the other side of the card. And remember, if you do this, if you do these cards, do these spirit flame cards, they will start to progress. You just put them on the shelf somewhere, put them away. We'll go back and look at them in a couple of days, 3 or 4 days. All of a sudden, what you do is somebody asks, do you hold it still? Remember, you have to keep it moving because if you hold the card still over the flame, the card will catch fire. And you'll have a little bit of a fire in your house. If the card starts to turn orange or starts to turn a certain color, you just pull it away from the flame. As long as you keep the card moving, keep it moving over the flame, keep it moving, it works very well. If you stop on the flame, the card will catch fire, and you'll have to put the fire out. You'll have to put the fire out. But I use a tapered candle, light it, say any prayer I want, and I run the thing over the flame, and then see what appears on the other side. And I've had some miraculous things appear on cards when people have run the cards over the flame. So, and that really gives a medium or a psychic somewhere to start, because the picture is already on the card. It already shows itself on the card. It already shows itself. Burnings. Now, I don't know if most people know about burnings, but we're going to go into burnings here. I'll teach you a little bit of stuff. Burnings are actually when you take a card, put it on a non-flammable surface, like a glass bowl, something in that vibration. A glass bowl, something in that vibration. And what you do is you take that card and you ask whatever question you want and light the card. Now, if the card completely burns in the bowl, that's a yes. But if only part of the card burns and the flame goes out, that's a no. Now, you can always, as I said with the pendulum, you can always set it how you want. You want the whole card to burn for no. You want half the card. You want part of the card to burn for yes. It's up to what you want. But once you light that card, it'll either burn completely through, and that will be, for me, a yes. If it doesn't burn all the way through, it's a no. Then I'll give you yes and no questions with that. What you want to do is you want to do candle glazing. Just sitting a candle in front of you and asking questions and watching the candle. Now, a lot of times images, different things will appear in the candle, or the candle will move. It'll sway to where it needs to be. So a lot of asking questions from the candles. Ash readings. And I don't know if people have heard about ash readings, but they were kind of cool. They're really kind of cool. So you take some ashes from your fireplace, a fire that has completely gone out, it's cool ashes, put them somewhere out in the yard where some wind or something will go over them. Write yes on one side, no on the other side. Just leave them out there overnight. What happens is, if the yes is gone, then the answer is no. If the no is gone, its answer is yes. If it's all gone, it means that they aren't going to answer you. They aren't going to answer you. So what you're doing is you're allowing spirit to go out there at night and do that. So that's called ash reading. Ash readings. My grandfather used to do smoke readings, and smoke readings were actually individuals would actually appear in the smoke. I would have you light the fire. I would have the fire going. And what I would do is I would have you ask a question from me. And then I would just put the fire out. Works really good with candles, especially if you put the candle out. The smoke that rises up from the candle, once you put the candle out, makes certain designs, certain situations will appear in the smoke. Give a reading from that. So it's like you can do that. It's just like ask a question, put the candle out, and watch what the smoke does. What does the smoke do? That actually rises from the candle that gets your attention. That works really well. That works really well when you're asking. A lot of these things work very well when you're asking yes and no questions. Yes and no. The pendulum, different things. Yes and no questions work very well for that if that's what you're looking to do, looking to find something that works for you. The reason I teach a lot of this stuff is I want you to find something that actually works for you, that actually fits the vibration for you. Because if I don't teach you it, you go, well, boy, I wish I knew how to do that. When I do ember readings, and there are ember readings, and what I do is I light a big fire. I allow the fire to burn down until there's just coals. These big red coals or still coals are left in the fire. And I have you come rake the coals of the fire. When you rake them, people's faces, people will appear in the fire. They'll appear in the coals. Different signs, different things will appear in the ashes and the coal as you rake the fire. I allow you to rake the fire as much as you want, as much as you would like to rake it. And then through that, I give you a reading of what happens, of what you have done. I give you a reading. It's called ember readings. And I just read the embers which were in the fire. So that's another vibration of how to propel readings, to do that. My mother should teach me how to do teacup readings and read the grounds and teacup or coffee ground readings. And what was left in the cup, what were the tea leaves and different things left in the cup, or the coffee grounds in the cup, teaching me how to do a reading with that vibration. And that's through symbols that appear, the horse, the horseshoe, the different things that appear in the cup, gives me a really good idea of what they mean to you. And that's what I said, when you do a lot of these readings, it's a question of how does it work for you? Does it fit you? Do you like it? Does it fit the vibration for you? See, you want to find something to do with your mediumship work that kind of works for you. I have pickup sticks that I teach class sometimes of how to do stick readings. And that's by taking the pickup sticks, taking them, and dropping them on the table. Just dropping them on the table. And by dropping them in the middle of a table, there are different designs that will appear within the pickup sticks. And through that, I give you a reading. The designs that happen just because you drop the sticks on the table. Same thing with rope readings. I teach rope readings here. Rope readings are getting a piece of rope. It doesn't have to be that long a rope. I like having a certain length of rope. Probably about 2 feet, 3 feet. You got to have at least 2 feet. It could be longer. And once you hold the rope in your hand, you roll it up in your hand, and then you drop it on the table. That's a lot like the sticks. And what happens with that is you read the symbols that appear because you drop the rocks on the paper. You drop the rope on the paper. Stone readings work really well. So we're going to go through a lot. Stone readings work very well. It's getting different get different stones. Get yourself at least about 20, 25 stones. I like to have at least 20 stones in a box. And I have somebody pick 5 stones. And what I do is I allow them to, they pick 5 stones. And what happens is what they pick and lay out in front of them is I give them a reading from the color, the different situations that happen with reading those stones. I give you pick out 5 stones, and through the colors, type of stone, the type of crystal, the type of stone that you pick, I give you a reading for that. And I can do stone readings very well because it's the question as I put all these stones in there, but subconsciously or consciously, you pick them. You pick that color, that stone from that box. So that allows you to do that. I'm going to be teaching a class here on ribbon readings. And the ribbon readings are exactly, it's a round thing with ribbons all around it. And I give that to you and tell you to pick out 3 or 4 ribbons. You pick out different ribbons off of that, and through that, I give you a reading. So a lot of this is subconscious. When you pick this, when you do this, when you put this in motion. A lot of it has to be subconscious. It has to be very subconscious. So you do that, and I tell people when you do readings, people either subconscious or consciously, I don't know what happens, but when you're a medium, people will walk in and you'll sense things, you'll feel things, either from their auric field, because their auric field has touched yours. The vibration of their auric field has come in contact with your vibration. So you're going to feel something, whether you're empathic, whether you're psychic, it doesn't matter, but you're going to feel something because a person has entered your space. They've entered your space. So that, just as the person opening the door, walking into your office, there has been a connection, a vibration of connection before the reading even starts. Before it even gets moving, there's a connection. That's because their auric field has touched yours. And if you get to know how to read auras, you can give people readings by just what the color is in their auric field, what is going on in their auric field. As long as you know what it is, what it means to you. If you look at something and say, well, I don't know what red means. Well, what does red mean to you? If it doesn't have any meaning to you, then it has some kind of connection to the person you're reading. It has some kind of connection to them. So you have to say, okay, this is what it means to me. When I get the wisdom cards and I pull out the wisdom cards and it says Ringmaster of Scrutiny. That's what it says on the card. But what I know, if I pick this card or you picked it, I have to look kind of at the picture and what the picture on the card is telling me. Also the ringmaster of the circus, the ringmaster of the vibration. Why did you personally pick the ringmaster? You could have picked any other card in the deck. Why did you pick this one? So there's a reason why. And through understanding why you picked that, on top of that, when you picked the card, you put your energy on it. You touched it. So it left a little bit of psychic vibration on the card. A little bit of psychic vibration. So I'm actually reading why you picked the card, why the card's there, but I'm also reading that psychic vibration because of your touch, of touching the card, of putting that energy within the card. So I have to realize, well, okay, you touched the card. What were you thinking? What were you wanting me to look at? What were you wanting me to look at? Because subconsciously, Spirit has a way of producing these things in front of you. I'm not against Ouija boards. I'm not against Ouija boards at all. I think that Ouija boards are, as long as you create your vibrations, you create the situation within your life, you create it, you create the board. Write yes, no, do whatever you want on that board. Then make yourself your own pochette. Make yourself your own pochette, and then touch it and let it run over the board. What happens with that is you have put your energy within the space. You have. Not somebody down the road has played with this board and left their energy into it. Somebody at the factory, the Ouija board factory, hasn't put their negative energy into it. You made the wish boards. You made the vision board. And then you've made your own pochette to go over top of it. And you do that. And a lot of people will use this with pendulums. So have the pendulum in the center and ask the question, allow the pendulum to swing somewhere on the board that you have written the answers that you think are pertinent in your life. So you can have your own little vision board and asking your guides, when is this going to happen? When could I envision this in my life? Am I in the right location? Am I going in the right place? You can ask all those questions through a pendulum or through a pochette. So it's up to your vibration. But when you do these readings, it's more of a connecting to a higher sense of consciousness, a higher sense of vibration. That's what you're really looking for. You're looking for that higher sense of consciousness and raising it. And when I've done these classes, I want you to meditate. I want you to get quiet. I want you to go within yourself. Go get a little quiet every day. Get a little quiet. Whether it's a minute, 2 minutes, 10 minutes, 30 minutes, is what works for you. And make yourself quiet for a little bit. Quiet the mind. Set the vibration. And allow that to happen. Allow energy to work with you. And you can start teaching yourself by punching the center parts of your palms. You're actually opening up the chakras within the center of your hands. You can teach yourself to be very extremely good at psychometry by holding an object of somebody else's and giving a reading from that object. Giving a reading, giving a connection, a reading from that object. That works really well by teaching yourself to read. And the thing I teach my class to do with that is to get yourself some envelopes. Just plain envelopes. Get some cards, get whatever you need to write on. Write down something on a piece of paper or a card. You can write a color, you can write an object, you can put some photographs in the envelopes, and just number the envelopes and put these objects in the envelopes. They should just be like paper or a photograph, because if you start putting something in there, you're going to hold on to it and go, I know what that is. So don't put, because I had a gentleman the other day said, well, I picked up the thing and I could feel the key in there, so I knew it was a key. Well, no, put Put some, if you want a picture of a key, put a picture of a key in the envelope. Then put the envelopes up on the shelf somewhere. Doesn't matter where you put them up on the shelf somewhere, put them away, put them up on the shelf. And then in about a week, take them down and start touching them. Start touching the envelopes and see if you get what's in the envelope, if you are sensing what's in the envelope. That's a good teaching tool to help you to realize, because the practice makes perfect, practice makes better. So you might not get everything at the first time, second time, but pretty soon you're going to go, oh, getting better at this. Because the more energy you put into it, the stronger your guides will work with you. If you only do it one day and then 6 months from now you do it again, probably not going to work as well as it should because you haven't given it the energy. It's the vibration of energy, the vibration of intention of what you're looking for. So it's the mediumship, the clairaudience, the clairvoyance, the clairsentient, the knowing, just knowing, being more of an empath within your vibration. So it's what radiates to the vibration with you, what radiates to the vibration. You have to realize that a lot of this is a connection. A lot of this is a connection to your higher self, your higher vibration, your higher self. But the smoke readings, all these readings, they have different ways of answering questions. You might not want to go outside and start putting ashes out somewhere in the yard. That might not be your thing. For some people, it might be. It might be something. Or lighting a candle and watching the candle and see what the candle does when you ask the question. That takes a little bit more time to get the candle, to work with the candle, to see candle gazing. You can do mirror gazing also. And mirror gazing works really well if you get in a darkened space in your life, darkened space, like a bathroom or something that has a very large mirror. And light a small bulb candle. Put it somewhere in the room. And stand in front of that mirror so that you can just barely make your face out. Just barely make it out. You can make out your face, but not totally make it out. But you can just make out your face. Just sit there and stare at the image in the mirror. All of a sudden, your face will start to roll. And you'll be past lives, incarnations, guides, loved ones. Different people will appear and overshadow you in the mirror. It works really well to understand. You can see that. It gets a little addictive because you always want to see who's actually overshadowing you, who's coming over your face, because you might have feathers, you might have long hair, short hair, no hair, old, young. Your face will start to roll and start to move. I always watch when I did this, no matter who does it, your lips will be moving. You'll be talking 100 miles an hour while you're doing this. Even though your mouth's shut, you're not saying a word. You can see your mouth just moving and just talking. And I want to learn I'm going to try to learn how to read lips so I can see exactly what I'm saying. What is that spirit in the mirror telling me? What is that spirit saying? So I really see, because it has this connection. And you can ask the spirit things. You can ask the vibration. Remember, law of attraction, law of attraction, law of vibration. So when you do any of this work, it's what you're personally attracting in your life. What are you personally attracting? And the law of vibration is how high you want to raise your vibration. How high do you want to get it? How far do you want to go? But you're not going to attract something negative that's going to be stuck to you or attached onto you. Unless you're trying to do mirror gazing or doing some kind of psychic work in the middle of a house that there's a murder happened in the house, or in the middle of a funeral home, or a psychic or a sailor song somewhere. You're doing a ghost hunt and you want to open up to the spirit world. Well, God bless you for doing that. But it's like if you know where you're at and you feel extremely protected, your guides will protect you. If you're somewhere where you're not quite set, you're not quite understanding the vibration, then don't open yourself up to the spirit world. Don't open yourself up. Don't put yourself in that vibration at that point. But I do a lot with wax readings that I taught the other day, wax readings. Wax readings, you burn a candle. You got to get some wax. You got to let the candle burn. The candles that are actually in little glass bottles, that the wax will start to build up in there, the hot wax. Then you ask a question. You ask a vibration. You ask a question. Then you pour the wax into a bowl of water. What happens is the wax will start to take on pictures of individuals. It'll take on words. It'll take on different things as you pour that into the cold water. It'll get cold. The water will get solid. Instead of being liquid, it'll get solid, and it will make different forms in the vibration. So by doing that, by putting that in motion, you will actually see these different things. We had a class the other day, and a face of her mother appeared right in the wax. So the question is that will bring through, spirit can work in that endeavor for you. They can work in that vibration, work in that endeavor. But it's the question of understanding what works for you. And you should always ask yourself, what am I good with this? And I tell people, you got to think of your life as around your neck, you've got a large medicine bag. And through the vibration, you keep putting all these things that you like, that you really are attracted to, into the medicine bag. Once the medicine bag's full, you've made yourself your own little connection to spirit. You made your own connection to spirit. But nobody else's medicine bag is exactly like yours. Nobody else put the exact same stuff in that medicine bag. So what happens is you have produced what you feel is best for you for the readings, and that takes in consideration of what you start to learn. A lot of people will do healing. Healing modalities are an extremely powerful part of mediumship, because when you're doing healing, you're allowing yourself to be a channel for spirit. You're allowing yourself to be this channel for the spirit world. So you're opening yourself up to allow the doctors, the physicians, the healers from the spirit side of life to work through you to help someone. And through that connection to the spirit world, you'll get information. Information will appear. It'll appear in your vibration. And sometimes you feel guilty saying, well, I'm only here to heal the person, but I'm getting all this information. Ask the person if they would like you to tell them what you are feeling or sensing. Ask permission. And if they say yes, I'd really like to know what you're saying, then all of a sudden put that in motion. Because the question here is, I have a lot of people that are in this business, they'll just run up to somebody and just give them a bunch of information. And you have to ask permission. You have to ask permission. You're not really asking permission. I guess you are asking permission of the person you're trying to give the reading to, but you're asking permission of their gatekeeper, their guides, their protectors. You're asking permission to enter the vibration and give them the message. You're asking permission. It's just reverence. It's just kind of a reverence I have for doing that, because I just don't run around and just give people readings. I want to ask to make sure that their guides and they are happy with receiving the message. You could get the best reading you have in your whole life. By God, it was the best thing in your whole life. But if the person that you're trying to give it to does not want to accept it, didn't even want it in the first place, doesn't want to hear it, it falls on, it could be the best thing in the whole world, but this person doesn't want to have it. So it falls on deaf ears. It falls on deaf situations. So ask. Somebody wants you to do that. If you're a healer, you work with healing, you work with that modality, give it, but ask the person permission to give the information that you receive from the spirit world. But being a channel, and most of the time, you're just opening up the channel. You're opening up this vibration of the channel. I've been working on my channel, working with spirit, since I've been 4 years old, 4 or 5. So I've been doing it for well over 60 years. I've been trying to work. I even do more work. I've got more stuff coming to learn from. I still take classes, because I want to see what's the next step. Make sure that I'm getting all the pieces I need, all the keys, all the roadmaps, all the directions I need to get to the next doorway, the next vibration that I personally need to walk through. And I'm telling you, it's like an apartment building. You're going from level to level. You're on the first level, second floor, third floor, fourth floor, fifth floor. You're going up through the building. Now, you might get up to the third floor of this building and go, that's perfect. That's, oh my God, that's all I need. That's all I want. That's all I need. It's as far as you go. You're not going to the roof deck. You're staying there. Now, other people might pass you, oh my God, they're so good, but they've put the work into the vibration to get to that level, that vibration, that level of where they are. And I'm always wanting to go to the next level, the vibration. I'm always venturing towards the roof deck. So I'm trying to get myself there. And so your attitude of how much energy you put into it, and what works for you. Maybe the pendulum readings work for you, the fire gazing. Maybe something else works for you. The fire gazing, the ember readings. Well, the fire gazing is just by looking at the fire and seeing what the fire's doing, what it's doing once you ask a question. That's the same as the candle. You're looking to see what the flame is doing. Ember readings, you're allowing the flame to go out. You're dealing with the embers that are laying within the fire bed, and then you rake those and get the information. But teaching you to find something and put it in your vibration. There are things that happen in an ember reading or a fire reading that if they appear in your vibration, I know exactly what they mean. Same thing as with the pendulum. Different things. Everything has a reason, and if I know what it means, I have these cards that are flower cards that are different types of flowers. Not like I have them memorized, but I know what the flowers are. I know what the flowers mean. So I've kind of put that in my psychic vocabulary. Now, if one of your guides bring a certain type of flower in your vibration, there's an energy for that. There's a vibration. I have an energy. I have an understanding of what that means. Same thing if an animal totem shows up in your vibration, an animal totem. Same thing if you have one. The animal, sure, is a totem. It has some kind of totem value for you. But the question is, what does the animal mean to you? Or what is the meaning of the totem? Because it appeared in your vibration. What is the meaning of it for you? And usually people research that and look at their animal totem, one appeared in their vibration. And usually animal totems are things that keep appearing in your life. If you walk out your house, see a hawk, and you see the hawk again, you see another hawk, you see another hawk. Probably part of your animal totem has something to do with a hawk. It will have something to do with that because it will keep appearing in the vibration. It will keep appearing into the sense of consciousness. But understanding there are different types of readings and different vibrations. Out here in Casadega, we do mental mediumship. We attach ourselves to spirit, allow ourselves to be a clear channel, allow spirit to speak to you without using any tools, without using pendulums or cards or different types of tools. We just do it by sitting in front of you and tuning into the spirit world and allowing that to come through this. And if you realize with spiritualism, what happened in the day, what happened in spiritualism in the day, is a lot of people were working with tools. A lot of people were working with tools. A lot of people were very extremely successful with tools. But then there were a lot of charlatans, people that were not, well, let's say, above board with the tools. And what happened is a lot of the spiritualist organizations pulled away from using tools because people were misrepresenting them. They were doing things with the tools that didn't convey with spirit. So the spiritualist organizations did away with tools. So there would be no question of where the information was coming from. There would be no question of where it was coming from. But remember, if you do it because you love it, it's I love doing smoke readings. I love doing wax readings. It's what works for you. I can teach you how to do wax readings, and you can set up a shop right at a psychic fair, have a large, beautiful glass bowl in front of you with water in it, and have somebody light a candle and pour the wax in the bowl and give them extraordinary readings. from the wax they drop in that bowl. And what is that? Mostly psychic, but you can still start to train yourself. Because really what happens when you use all these tools, the cards, the pendulum, all this stuff, what you're training yourself to get yourself out of the way. You're training to open up the channel, to clear the drain, to clear the situations within your life, to be more of an open channel. Sure, you might work psychically for a while, and all of a sudden something just changes. It flips for you and gets you to see the whole picture, the whole vibration, the whole connection to spirit. So remember that when you're doing these types of readings, remember that these tools are there to peel away certain situations so that you can get to where you need to be. And when I do that, I teach this, and I teach whether you do rock readings, tarot readings, I Ching, which are coins. You take coins, and coins are thrown down. The person throws the coins down, and through the symbols on the coins, how the coins lay, how the coins are put out in front of you, you give a person a reading. So there's different forms of mediumship using tools, but it's what tool works for you. And you might not like certain tools. I said, that medicine bag that hangs around your neck. Put whatever you need in there. You might like a little bit of this, a little bit of that, a little bit of this, a little bit of that, but you make that bag your own. And that's your medicine bag. That's my grandfather used to tell me, that's your medicine bag, Lou. Nobody else has got a medicine bag like yours. And my grandfather made me one. I think I still have it. That I was to put my deepest thoughts about connection to the Great Spirit within the bag. And I learned how to drop things in there, things that I enjoyed, things I really liked, things I really manifested within my life. I really put them within the bag. But in my whole life, I still have it there. I still have it attached to my heart chakra. And when I can pull forth, when it happens in my life, when I see the symbol, when I see the vibration, I can give the reading. When you do readings, it's you're telling a story. Teach people, be a medium. You have to be a really good storyteller. You got to be able to tell a story. What I said before, when you take the card, you write on the card 3 things. Let's say you write on the card, blue, ocean, bicycle. Now, blue, ocean, bicycle. That's what I wrote. Now, out of those 3 words, I should give a reading. I explained to people that symbols, the blue, the ocean, the bicycle, are really symbols for me. They're not symbols for you. They're not your symbols. You gave them to me to make sense of them, to give them back to you, but not to give you back your symbols. I shouldn't give you a reading that says, I got a lot of blue around you. And I felt the movement of an ocean, the movement of the ocean in your vibration, and I felt water in your vibration. God bless you. Probably going to look at me and go, what are you talking about? But if I look at the energy of the vibration of what I chose, blue, ocean, water, and I look at that, how it would convey to me, how it would work with my vibration, then I would look in your auric field and say, I feel a lot of health and situations coming in your life and a blessing of spirit around you, a connection to a value of lifting the body to another zone, another vibration within your life, getting you to where you need to be. I sense change within your vibration, but I feel like you're in the process of making some kind of choices within your life that are going to take you to that higher sense of consciousness. But there is a movement of situations within your life, not to be stuck in one situation, but to move forward in other situations. And also, I want you to understand that there is change. Change within your auric field, change within the vibration, allowing yourself to accept the change and move in that vibration. And this, I leave you with that. See, now I've just told a story. That's all I've told. I've just told a story about this vibration. The blue to me signifies health, balance, a connection to a higher sense of consciousness. Water signifies a movement, especially the ocean. That's a movement. It's an upliftment. It's the pulling things out and putting things in. It's a movement of revolution within the vibration. And water is always, for me, means change. Water is always changing its course, changing its vibration within someone's life. So it's what it means to you. It's what it connects to you. And that's why I always tell you, don't say, oh, so-and-so says a squirrel means this. Well, it's going to mean that. No. But if you're doing a reading for someone and you bring forth someone, or you bring forth something, and they go, oh, my grandfather used to have that. My grandfather had that. You put that in the back of your mind. Now, the next time you see that, you're going to go, you don't have a grandfather here. I have a grandfather within your vibration, because that will appear to direct you to where the family member is. You're just reading the signs, the symbols, the vibration that appears in front of you. You're reading those. You're trying to keep track of those. And when you do readings, whether you do all this stuff, you're doing readings because you are in the process of allowing it to grow. The journey of the reading, the journey, the movement of it. So you're allowing it to grow and transpire in front of you. But usually it's just a picture that will show up for maybe 25 seconds, maybe 30 seconds. If you get any more than 30, if you get more than 30 seconds, that's a win. Because it's usually like this flash, a spirit showing you something. And out of that flash, that's why the three things on the piece of paper, three things on the piece of paper. Once you see that, once that flash appears, then you say, oh, I saw that, this. All right, I'm going to start the reading of it. This is what I'm going to start telling them. And it's that movement, that energy, that movement. You know, see, mediumship's a lot like ocean. The information comes in, spirit draws the energy back out, and they pull more energy back in. So by allowing the energy to move forward, you allow more energy to come back in. So it's this kind of vibration. It's like a pyramid. Me to spirit, to you, to me, to spirit, to you. It's this pyramid situation going on between us as we do a reading. As that connection. So, but the readings is like, you can do the wax readings, the water readings, you can do different, I had sand readings at one time. I did it at a large convention, and I had different colored sands on my table. And I had little cups that you would pick the sand up and drop it into little beakers. And the beakers had my name and my address and my telephone number on them. They're little beakers. And you drop the sand in the beakers. Now you pick up whatever sand you wanted, whatever you wanted, through the whole aspect of sand. I think I had like 25, 28 different colored sands on this table. So you would put all the colored sands in the beaker, and I would take the beaker, give you a reading from the granules of sand, how they performed within the thing, how they laid, what colors you picked out, what happened. And then when the reading was done with, I would give you the beaker and the sand, and you would take it home with you. That was a really cool way of doing it. I have a really cool way of doing readings. I did those for many, many, many years, and that was a really cool way of doing readings because people got something from it. Plus, on top of that, by allowing them to touch all the sand, putting their sand into their little beaker, it made them understand exactly what they were doing. We had a gentleman here, Robert Johnstone, used to do butterfly readings with paint. And by taking a large piece of paper, dropping paint into the paper, pushing the paper together, like dropping the paint, holding it, and dropping the paint in there, and then pulling it together and squeezing it together, then opening it up, and it would show a butterfly. And there were different colors, different designs that would appear in the butterfly reading, and he would give you a reading from the butterfly. So, I mean, it's the question of what works for you. But it's all, you could do any of these tools, any of these vibrations, any of these tools. But you got to remember, you got to know what the symbols mean to you. You got to figure out what they mean to you. What does it mean to you? Because something could show up and you go, I don't know what that means. Oh, I don't know what that means. I love when people say, well, you know, I have a car here. I have a car here. You know, there's a tree over in the corner, and I saw some moss on the tree, and there's some water running off there, and I saw like a cattail. And I went over, there's a blue mountain off in the distance, and I saw a half moon. God bless you. Now, I've just given somebody every one of my symbols, and they have no idea what they mean. They have no idea what I was trying to tell them. But if I allow myself to understand what those symbols mean, then I can give you a reading. I can tell a story. When I teach my class, I tell people it's a CERT. C-E-R-T, CERT. C stands for communication. Communication with your guides, spirit, the vibration around somebody, communication. Then you're looking for evidence. The E is evidence. Evidence. Why are they here? They don't come just in to fly in here, I love you, and fly out. There's a reason why they appeared. There's a reason why they're showing up to talk to you. So evidence. Then reason, they're here. Reason. R is for reason. They're not here just to say hi. They're here to give you something or help you in a direction. And the last one, T, is to tell a story. Tie up loose ends. You don't want to have the reading last till about the middle of the reading and you're done. You waste it all. I tell people back in the day, readings are 35, 45 minutes. You can't shoot everything up in the front of the reading and not have anything left for the end of it. You've got to pace yourself. You've got to be an Olympic swimmer, but you can't go out of breath before the last lap is done. So you got to pace yourself a little bit with your readings. Pace yourself. But it's the question of understanding how the mediumship works for you, how it connects to you. Jeremy McDonald was here, and he did a certain type of reading with a machine. And people have an aura machine out here. They do readings with the aura machine. And they take pictures of your aura, and they will give you a reading, whole vibration of that. And if you can afford an aura machine and learn how to read auras and learn how to read that vibration, people that have the aura machines do quite well at psychic fairs. They do extremely well at psychic fairs. So the question is it's what fits the vibration for you? What fits you? What fits the vibration? Because you're all talented. You're all gifted. You all have gifts. Every one of you that are here today, every one of you have gifts. According to what the gifts are, that's the question. It's not how many gifts you have. It's what gift do you feel comfortable with? You could have gifts that you don't like. You like, I don't like those. I don't want to do that. I don't want to do that. I'm not one that likes to go into people's houses and bless their houses. A lady called me the other day. She said, I have a gentleman in my house. He runs around my house like Chucky with a knife. He keeps trying to cut me. Could you please come over and get rid of him? You've got a person in your house running around with a knife that looks like Chucky, and you want me to come in? Oh, no, 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 no. No, 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 no. Not my party. I don't know why you attracted something like that, but it's not my party. Not where I'm going at this point in my life. So I picked the journey that I feel is best for me, and your guides will help you in that endeavor. They will help you in that endeavor. If your first thought is, oh, no, that's not good. Oh, Jesus, that's not good. Listen to yourself. Don't allow somebody else to say, oh, my God, that's perfect for you. You should do that. No. That's why I teach all these different types of readings. Not because I want you to do all of them. I want you to take pieces of them, ideas from different vibrations of these. Even table tipping, I do classes here on table tipping. Table up, they used to call it today table up. You touch the table will answer yes and no questions. And you allow the table to rock for yes, stop for no, whatever vibration works for you. And the spirit will get in within the table and lift the table off the floor, do all their kind of stuff, and do what they need to do with the table, and they will answer yes, no questions. Back in the day with my mother, I used to sit in the corner of the room since I was the youngest, and the table would move, and it would bounce once for yes, twice for no, or it would spell out words. It would go through the alphabet, A was 1, B was 2, C was 3, and you would see how many times the table would rap. And once it stopped banging, you would say, oh, that was 7 bangs, so 7. You would write that down, and you would write down what the Spirit was trying to tell you. They would do it through a banging of the table and spelling out the alphabet. So it's a question with you is how it works for you, how it fits for you. But or trance mediumship. I do trance in my Lucerne, and allowing Spirit to work through me, become that channel, leave my body, allow Spirit to work through me, and to speak. So I allow Lucerne to talk. But that took many years of me trying to propel that in motion. It wasn't something that just happened overnight. I had to make sure I knew who was going to inhabit or overshadow me that strong that I wanted to make sure that they were going to not hurt my vibration or disrupt my vibration, but to be good for it. So you have to make sure you adjust what's going on with that, especially when you'll do trance. Make sure you already know who wants to jump in your body. You don't want to be like a 7-Eleven and have everybody come in the front door and you're going, well, this is crazy. There's too many people here. There's too much stuff here. No, you pick out a guide or a trance guide that you want to work with, that's with you, and allow them to feel comfortable with them. Not everybody else in the group. I have 47 in the group, but not all the 47 jump into my body, just Lucerne. Every once in a while, Tobias and some other guides will jump in, but I allow them to be there, not because they just jump in and take over. It's not like Whoopi Goldberg on Ghost. They just kept jumping into Whoopi. No. You don't allow that because it will displace your energy and displace your vibration for quite some time. But remember, whatever you take from this, teach yourself. Understand the psychometry of it. The psychometry of it. That's what it is, the psychometry, people. That's what all mediumship is, and you can have a teacher tell you something different, but that's what it is. It is how much energy you put into the vibration. It's like reading an object with energy into it. The more energy in the object, the better the reading's going to be. Less energy, you're going to have to fight for it. Same thing with mediumship. The more energy you put into it, the more vibration you put into it, the better it'll be. The less energy you put into it, then there's a little bit of a fight to get to the top of the hill. It's like starting out a mountain climb. If you're prepared for the climb of the mountain, you're in good shape. But if you have no tools in your backpack and you're starting to climb and there's no tools and you're expecting somebody ahead of you to drop something, then it might be a long, tedious climb to the top. So understand that everything has a connection. It has a vibration, a connection of how it works and how it gets put together. But I always liked the flame cards. Flame cards, I got taught that many years ago, and running the paper over the flame, and that works really well. But just remember, I said, keep the card moving. Don't stop it. Keep some water next to it or a spray bottle so you can put the fire out. If you stop it over top of the candle, it's going to, the top of the card's going to turn orange, fire's going to break through, and the card's going to catch fire. So try to do something, and you want to try to keep a clear card, No bunch of lines and stuff, because that kind of throws the whole situation off. A white, clear card, a white, clear index card works really well. A plain index card works really well for that type of work. So I hope you guys enjoyed today. Remember, next week we're going to be doing some other things. Remember, I'll be advertising on my website and other things. Chris will send it out. Especially, I think I'm going to be going here probably in the near future more into a Zoom format, so you can appear on Zoom, and it'll be more interactive. I'm working on that vibration. So I'm trying to get us so we're more in like a group setting, as like having a class. I have a pending question. Let me see what the pending question is. Hold on a second. I don't see any questions. I said I had a pending question, but I don't see it. But anyway, I want to wish you guys a wonderful day. Hope you enjoyed it. This will be on my channel. Probably today or tomorrow I'm going to post it on my channel so you can be able to see me and see the whole thing. And if you miss something, you'll be able to watch the video again of me teaching this class. I want to thank you for tuning in today. And I'm going to take us out of the one mode. And thank you, guys. Thank you for tuning in.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thanks, Luke. Have a good day.
You're welcome. Thank you.